Yeah, he said the travel was really hard, right? So getting from Orem, Utah to McAllen, Texas and Edinburgh is not the easiest trip. Fortunately, we don't have to do that anymore. But he always spoke really, really highly of the culture and the community here. He spent a short amount of time, but they would come here and partner that with another trip, so they were within the region a little bit longer than most. He really spoke highly of Chase, actually, after conversations with him, and just seeing what he's been able to do with the place post his time at Utah Valley has been evident, and he was able to comment on that as well. But his biggest takeaway was how far away it was from Orem.
And for Chase, for you, you talked about the $25 million that was invested. What percentage would you put that practice facility finished at, and can you give us an update on that?
Yeah, the practice facility, we're actually about 3 months away from opening up the doors to the practice facility. The weight room opened about 18 months ago, and we've all gotten to witness the renovations in here that happened before this past basketball season, and then the atrium will be finished here in about 11 months. So that is the package there of the $25 million investment. And I tell you, of all the projects, and I know we have all of our coaches here, but of all the projects that we've worked on, this has probably been one of the most fun. You know, the tradition that's in this building, Coach was talking about that earlier, to our former Bronx and our former Vaqueros that played here, that played in this building. 1969 is when this facility was constructed, and it was branded as the Brick Palace. So that's a fun fact. It was branded as the Brick Palace. But to be able to bring it back to life and renovate it and do the things that we're doing for our young people, it's been a special one to work on.
Chase and for Coach Kahil. Chase, I'll start with you. First off, Brandon Benitez, Channel 5 Sports. Welcome to the Valley, Coach. But Chase, just talk about his ability to recruit and how attractive that was for a job like this, you know, looking back on his time at maybe UTPB, everything in between there.
Yeah, no, I think that's one thing that's very important, right? It's the name of the game, recruiting, but it starts with the relationships, and that's, we were really specific in what we were looking for, and Kahil obviously checks those boxes. If you look at his track record, and you look at starting with UTPB, right, and you look at the success that they had after he came on board, you look at Portland State, you look at BYU making the move to the Big 12 and making that jump from the West Coast Conference. Everybody that I had a chance to talk to along the way credited Coach Fennell for that success, and that he was able to get in, not just establish relationships with the current student athletes quickly, but to be able to recruit and convince those young men to select their institution. So we also know that skill set, coupled with what we're doing here and the enthusiasm for athletics here in the Valley, it's going to give Coach some tools to be able to do what he does best, and that's build relationships and recruit.
Thanks, Jason. For Coach Fennell, just you know, talk about your, you know, just the level of excitement, right? To be in a spot like this, you know, with everything that you've kind of overcome. You know, I read about your story, getting a chance into assistant coaching and all that work's taken into. What does a moment like today bring and come to mind now that you're finally here?
It's incredible, and it's, you know, being a head coach anywhere would be just a tremendous opportunity. I'd be really thankful for it. But to be a head coach in my first job being here and to start my career this way at the head coaching level, you know, it's hard to put into words, right? When you take a look at the support, when you look at some of the former head coaches, not the former, the other head coaches in the department that I get to learn from and glean information from, and the leadership from President Bailey, the leadership from Chase, our player base here, the fan base here, to be in a community like this. I mean, this is a really good spot. I'm really, really lucky. That's not lost on me at all, and we're just thrilled to be a part of it.
Yeah, and last one, just, you know, now that you're kind of building your identity as a head coach now, how would you describe your style of coaching and what you bring to the table now that you're the leader of the program?
Yeah, I think it has to be based on honesty, right? We're going to have accountability, we're going to have standards, we're not going to bend on those, but we're really going to pour love and resources and development and just really challenge our guys with, you know, making them do the right thing within the framework of what we're trying to accomplish as a team. And I think if they know that they're loved, that they're cared for, that they're taught something, I think, you know, that can drag us and put us in the position to be successful, right? But a huge piece of how I view coaching in general, whether I'm a head coach, whether I'm an assistant coach, is if our guys feel loved, if they feel cared for, if they feel developed, if they feel like they're taught something and held to a standard, I think the wins will follow, right? And they need to walk away from this experience at UTRGV feeling like their time was maximized, like they got everything out of their time on campus, and they're walking away as a better player and as a better man than they were when they got here. So that's absolutely the goal, and I think everything will take care of itself after that.
Congratulations on the position here. Can you give us an idea of how this came about for you? Just kind of walk us through your interest kind of where it come from? And did you have any previous relationship either with Coach Kruger or perhaps Coach Beard, people who have kind of had relationships to kind of get you to this point?
I've actually had a few people ask me that, and the short answer is no. I have no relationship with any of those people. I had no prior relationship with Chase. I actually got a call from somebody that helps Chase in kind of consulting matters and things like that when I was at the grocery store. And it's odd because I never go to the grocery store. My wife is a saint, and I wouldn't be able to survive if it wasn't for her. So this is the one time in maybe 2 years that I've been to the grocery store, and I got a call regarding the job at UTRGV, and I was number one, I was confused by my surroundings, and then I was shocked that I received the call regarding the head coaching position here. But we had a really nice conversation, and it just kind of snowballed from there and moved really quickly from that point on. Had a terrific conversation with Chase a couple days thereafter over Zoom. We connected again later on that afternoon, and I was fortunate enough to get on the Zoom with President Bailey, and it was a really special conversation. You know, he was out at the ranch with his grandchildren and enjoying the Easter weekend, but it was really cool to get to know him a little bit, and then to kind of follow that up and come on campus and meet all the unbelievable people in the department. So it did move quickly, but it was just such a right fit, right? When I met my wife, that moved really quickly as well. And I'm not comparing this to a marriage, so don't worry, Chase. But you know, sometimes when you know, and it felt right away, and it felt like the right fit for both parties, and fortunately it worked out.
Was there anything in particular once the conversation started that made you feel, wow, this is a great opportunity, other than it being an opportunity to be a head coach, but just the location, the move to the Southland? Is there anything in particular that made this, you know, I think we can do something good here?
Yeah, it was less so the opportunity to be the head coach. I've been fortunate to have conversations at other places about different roles. It was more so just kind of the belief in our vision here, right? I think Chase really matches my intensity towards winning. Everything he does is very, very purposeful, and it's very intentional towards winning, right? It's not glamour projects. It's nothing to raise up his own name. It's all about how to lift this program and the people within it. And that's very much in line with how I view my role in athletics, right? My view as a head coach. And being very much in line with your boss and the athletic director, you can feel really, really confident moving forward. So it was less about, you know, the opportunity, because I feel confident that would have come down the road regardless. It was more so this is the right spot because of the people there.
And a question for Chase. Can you describe, you know, some of the things you had to go through in this search? There was a moment there where this was going to be a lot of people thought that this was going to be a brisk change and move over. You were very thorough. It seemed like you brought in a lot of names. I know you had a lot of phone calls. How the process worked for you in terms of getting to Kahil as your new head men's basketball coach?
Yeah, you know, and really it's whether it's basketball, it's football, it's soccer, track, golf. You know, we have a rhythm that we work through. Everybody always wants to get it right? You always want to get it right, but we really took our time on this one. You know, we were pretty thorough, wanted to make sure, and we had a lot going on, right? We went to the Southland piece, getting that announced publicly was a big piece of this, so we could go into the search and be able to talk in certainty, so that was also a part of the last couple of weeks. But yeah, we have our process that we work through, and you know, you talk to a whole lot of people, and then once you start visiting with people individually and you start understanding their beliefs, what they're about, understanding not just the game, but relationships, people, community, all the things. And I've been blessed 4.5 years now here in the Valley. I get to help, you know, maybe for the first time, some of our new head coaches really understand the importance of things here in the Rio Grande Valley, and how to really connect with our community, and how much our community wants to connect with them. And so you hear us keep saying relationships, but it's so important, and that's something we noticed early on with Kahil, and I think that's something that everybody will be able to benefit from and see in the years to come.